Not all avoidants cheat on their partners. In fact, most don't. But when it comes to attachment styles, they are more prone to it, especially dismissive avoidance. Why do they cheat on their partners? Why are they more likely to? Well, there are some reasons for that. But first, it's worth noting that the very fact that not all avoidants cheat on their partners, actually it's about 34% that do, that means that it is actually a choice. The person is not compelled to due to their insecurities. Yes, their insecurities can motivate them to do acts such as cheating and infidelity. However, it is a choice and the reflection of the character of the cheater. So, why are they more prone to it? The number one reason why dismissive avoidants are more prone to cheating on a partner is because it creates emotional distance. This is a person that feels very unsafe with emotional closeness, emotional intimacy. They feel safe with emotional distance. And they often do various different distancing behaviors in a relationship to keep their partner at an emotional arm's length. The reason why they want emotional distance is because they were emotionally neglected in childhood consistently. They learn that feelings and emotional closeness isn't safe, and they personalize that emotional neglect, growing up to feel defective and unlovable. And that's why they put up walls around their heart and they keep their partner on the other side of the wall. Because their subconscious fear is if I lower my walls, my partner's going to figure me out and I'll be exposed as being defective and unlovable. So closeness feels unsafe. They associate it with rejection and abandonment. But emotional distance helps them resort themselves and feel safe. Well, cheating on a partner really does create emotional distance because it is so incredibly hard to build emotional intimacy with a person that you're actively betraying. Cheating is one of the most distancing behaviors there can possibly be. Now, the other main reason why dismissive avoidants are prone to cheating is that they rely heavily on external validation to feel better about themselves. And they're getting that validation outside of the relationship or marriage and is helping them feel better about themselves. They're getting that dopamine. That dopamine helps them numb and suppress any emotions that they don't want to face. It helps them feel better because that external validation is pouring in. They don't know how to internally validate themselves. They were never shown how to in childhood. They were never shown how to process emotions and deal with any insecurities. They had to figure it out on their own because they were consistently emotionally neglected as a child. They usually did grow up in stable households where their basic needs were met, clothing, food, shelter, but their emotional needs weren't met. Growing up in households where you don't talk about feelings. And often, many of them witnessed cheating with their parents. One parent cheated on the other, perhaps had an affair, or even left the other parent for their affair partner. Quite often, this behavior was modeled for them as a child. Now, the third main reason is that cheating is also a method of avoiding. This is a person that avoids problems rather than dealing with them. They avoid negative emotions and suppress them rather than process them. The very act of cheating helps them avoid painful emotions that they don't want to face. It's a distraction. It helps them avoid issues in the marriage, in their relationship. It helps them avoid the negative emotions. It gives them the dopamine. It's a massive distraction. It gives them that temporary boost. But here's the kicker. They do have a core wound of shame, that wound of shame and defectiveness. Guilt and shame are two very different things. People often confuse the two. Guilt is I did something wrong, but shame is I am something wrong. And that wound of shame is from that emotional neglect. So they already feel like they're defective, unlovable, and worthless. So when they go out and do things like cheating, in their own subconscious mind, it confirms their own perceived defectiveness. See, I am a bad person. Look what I did. Now they're feeling worse about themselves. So, what do they seek to feel better about themselves? External validation that often comes through the way of cheating again to get that next dopamine hit to feel better about themselves. And it can become a vicious cycle. And many dismissive avoidants that cheat are prone to it. They actually can find cheating to be an addiction. They become addicted to the cheating and they cheat over and over and over again. So it's not uncommon to find that dismissive avoidants that cheat become serial cheaters, constantly creating emotional distance, chasing that dopamine rush, and also distracting themselves and avoiding, because that's what avoidants do. They avoid. Regardless of the reason why the cheater cheated, it is always a reflection of the person that did the cheating, not the reflection of the person being cheated on. You cannot make somebody cheat on you. You can't make anybody betray you. It is always the responsibility of the cheater. And if they try to blame you and say it's because you did something wrong, that's why they cheated, or you did this, and that's why they cheated, that is gaslighting. They're trying to plant the seeds of doubt in your mind so you doubt your perception of reality so they can escape accountability. There's only one person accountable for cheating: the cheater themselves. Don't blame yourself. Being cheated on is an ultimate betrayal. It is soul crushing, and it can chip away at your self-esteem. But pick yourself up and remind yourself that that's a reflection of them, their character, and their insecurities. Because in general, securely attached people with a good sense of self do not cheat. If they're unhappy in the relationship, they communicate that with their partner or they exit the relationship altogether. But when someone's cheating, that's a sign of some underlying issues with that person, unhealed wounds and character flaws.